It must be Sunday.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. We're back, everybody. Sunday, we're going to talk about comics that haven't come out yet, which means that you still have a chance to purchase them before they get that icky competitive market pricing. It's a really fun fantasy land where all the costs are MSRP and there's an infinite amount and there's nothing missing. But how do we get to this fun land, Keith?
So Keith and Richie steer your way there every Sunday night. We turn around and join with you on the website, iwantmorecomics.com, or if you are a Hold Slot member, you can be following along on the portal for the same / even more information. Jump to the website, go to shop, and the second item down there says final orders due. That takes you directly to this page. You can, I bring this up, you can look a couple weeks ahead, but the further you look into the future, even 1 week ahead, the fuzzier it gets. Because information is not completely hammered down. Things may move around. These we know. We have this show coming up here because we know all of this will turn around and definitely be live and due for tomorrow.
That's exactly right.
So...
Well, luckily, there's not a lot going on today with the final orders due, so, not much to talk about.
Yeah, totally not lying to you at all. No big deal.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a chunk of time for the end so you and I can break down the monster that is our big crossover event.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk about the little ones that are coming up beforehand. We will begin with Iron Age comics.
A large part of our focus for this, guys, is always trying to hit the number ones because it's the first opportunity. If you've already seen a number one, maybe you've already made a judgment. So, there's good books in here that are on 2, 3, or 4. But since we don't cover every little thing, hitting the number ones is the most important part.
Yeah, this is where we find out if these stories are going to be fun and we talk about them. That's part of the reason why we've featured a few really big hits, because people kind of like the new ideas. For instance, this is a newer idea, but it is a lot of ideas slammed into one. It says Escape from New York meets 30 Days of Nights in a Mad Max future. This is about a group of people, prisoners actually, trying to escape an Alcatraz-sized complex while being hunted by monstrous vampires. It's going to be a really dark, kind of brutal chase game, and mutated vampires seem like a fun deal. It's coming from a very independent publisher, Iron Age, just kind of kicking off. So I would check that out.
Iron Age has put out some really high quality stuff recently. Some of their books are a little oversized too, so I think you get pretty good value for what you're buying here.
Over at Red 5 Comics, we have The Last Harlemite. This is going to be another post-apocalyptic story. This one's going to have more of a hopeful lens, where this gentleman named Mansa is kind of trying to survive the post-apocalyptic future and kind of living off the memories of his lost little sister and faithful dog Benzo. He also forges new friendships within his adventures, and kind of realizes that's what it's about all along. So pretty fun all ages book for post-apocalyptic stuff, which I don't often say. So
no, that's crossing up my mind right now.
Yeah. So if that's something you're into, I would pick that up.
Great.
Then there's a one that I'm really excited about over at Mad Cave Studios. It's called Honor and Curse Eternal #1. This is about an immortal ninja who is cursed with, immortality, but with that immortality comes the attachment to a bloodthirsty demon who constantly tells him to go to war and constantly tells him to wreak vengeance upon those who harm him. He disappeared 600 years ago after a event that basically affects his ancestry. He has to be pulled back out of hiding and go reclaim his honor in the modern day world. I think this is going to be a blast. I think it's going to be John Wick meets Kung Fu Movie meets Death Note. So if that interests you like it does me, I would make sure to pick that bad boy up because, again, very independent. Probably not a lot going to be ordered for the shelves.
Really good on the 3 different covers for this. Man Cave has been putting out some really solid stuff. I believe Honor and Curse, and I can look it up here in a sec, has been something that they've done before. So this is like a new miniseries under it.
Like a story within that world kind of thing.
Yeah, or tale telling. Like how they how they like to tell tales and all this. But I would assume if I double checked it, you're probably talking about some creative teams that get together and then tell different styles.
Yeah.
Like that. So
excellent.
I think it's got roots in like that's established creators kind of thing instead
Agreed.
of like you can kind of trust a little deeper into it because what you've seen on this before.
That does make sense. We'll jump over to Ignition Press where we have a new number 1. Everybody Loves a Jewel Thief. Potentially not the hottest number 1s releasing, but genuinely have had a lot of content, cherished content from readers that come back to me and talk about it. Ignition Press has been doing really good about their creators and letting them kind of dive into welcoming stories for all styles of readers. This one's going to be about a struggling writer, ironically, that's trying to figure out how to find his next big hit. He decides what he'll do is he's going to write a book about a successful robbery, and as a media ploy to make it viral, he will actually do the robbery based on his writing. Unfortunately, he is no mastermind, so he's going to bring everybody's his crew, because you need a crew for a heist, and he has no connection, so he's going to use his D&D group who agree to this craziness. So feels like it's going to be one of those things where it starts off with light stakes and just keeps growing into the really heavy stake, and the stress builds. I think it'll be a fun read, and again, like I said, Ignition's been doing very well, so I would suggest grabbing this bad boy if you're interested.
Yeah, Tim Seeley, Aaron Campbell on writing duties, Aaron Campbell on all the interiors, and then they each get their own cover. The main is by Aaron Campbell, the B by Tim Seeley.
Excellent. We will jump over to, let's go to IDW because this one's hilarious to me. Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater presents, which we've had one before, but this time we're going into Romeo and Juliet.
And so Godzilla.
You're asking, what does that mean? Well, it means what if Romeo and Juliet was happening at the same time Godzilla was stomping around the yard? That is exactly what it is. It's just Godzilla entering a story where he should not be and making a mess of things. This one also for $7.99 includes a Tom Scully short story with Godzilla in Robin Hood days. I think it's going to be great as a Godzilla fan. I think it's just fun. And the variant covers are also a treat. If you're into it, I think it's worth the price of admission.
Hilarious stuff there. I did offer to put it on Sean's pull because I knew he would be a huge fan of the Romeo and Juliet part of it.
Yes. Excellent. All right. From there, we have a unique one from Titan Comics. Dead by Daylight is coming out with a new series, I believe. It is Dead by Daylight's actually done a couple, but this one is going to be focusing on their character, the Hillbilly. For those that play the game, it's that weird, awful slasher villain that we're going to focus on their origin. The cool thing about this book, outside of the Dead by Daylight lore, you're actually going to get a exclusive game code included to unlock in-game charms from the book. So if you know somebody or are a fan yourself, I would pick this up. Typically what happens every time a video game does this is that it will come out, nobody will know about it. You guys will forget that I've said it right here, right now, many, many moons before it shows up. And it will be very hard to find because people are trying to get that code. So even if you just want to read the book and don't care about the code at all, I would suggest picking one up early because most likely those going after the code will try to come in and wipe us out.
Alex Horley on the A, also with a foil or a pencils version of his art, is going to be a big draw. That's somebody who's done a ton of work in whether it's Fantasy Realm or more recently you've seen a lot of Conan the Barbarian type work with Horley on that. He is one of the legends in the industry there, and some other variants that are pretty good here, including a glow in the dark one down here for the Nicholas Mortensen. So. And a gory bagged one. So we don't even have the full image on it because it's too hot for TV.
That's right. That'll be a really good one. We will slip over to Marvel for the final 3 number ones. One is also in the video game world. Marvel Rivals is bringing out their new one-shot featuring a lot of the web comics smashed into one giant comic for the physical. It's called Duel of Kings. This is Namor versus Black Panther and the history between Atlantis and Wakanda. Jeff the Landshark will make an appearance in this book. If you've been following along the Marvel Rivals train, this is one you don't want to miss.
The B will obviously be your more Jeff fan centric. So
excellent. Moving on to Alien King Killer. This is going to be a new Alien series with kind of a flip on the storytelling. Typically, we are told about an alien landing on a human planet than everybody trying to survive. This has more in line with Aliens, where we are going to focus on the remaining humans of a alien takeover of a planet. So how are these people surviving? What is the government hiding? Can we find some semblance of existence on a planet ruled by the xenomorph? That is what's going to pick up for Alien King Killer.
Great Alex Maleev variant on this one. Absolutely will draw the eye. The others are solid too, but Maleev definitely.
I think Maleev takes it too. I saw it as well.
It's kind of iconic.
All right. And then the final one is going to be Deadpool April Fool's Day, which is Marvel's focus for April Fools. It's going to be Deadpool centric. Written by the great Gail Simone, friend of the store. So I highly recommend this book. It's going to be nothing but silliness. Do not look for anything serious. And I think enjoy for $4.99. There are some really great covers attached to this bad boy, and if that is not enough Deadpool for you, there will also be an April Deadpool variants called April Pool variants, and you can find those on our section. I don't know if any are coming out yet, but
I think we just started tagging everything up, and I was gonna this was going to be a great show to kind of break away from the FOC for just a second and show this off. But we also turn around on here, have the ordering catalogs, and the February catalog is almost completely loaded now. It always takes us a little bit of time to get everything right and in this, but the big publishers are in there. I got a last couple things to this. The reason I bring up this page, because again, I told you, the further you go into the future, the fuzzier it gets as to whether you get all your, absolute the correct images and all this. But using that cover theme area that we talked about here, so the April pools, we'll have some of the variants popping in there as those are being announced and all this. So some different, some fun ones for that.
So that is something to look forward to.
Yep. I'm going to also bring up at the same time the counterbalance that DC is doing, because DC is doing April Drools.
April Drools variants. That's right.
Let me reset that real quick.
That's going to be featuring the rambunctious pup, Crypto, the super dog, messing with all the heroes on their covers for the month of April.
Yep. So there's a little small subset there if you are interested in that. Back to this week and what is immediate and right in front of us, where the other ones you have more time to think about.
Yep. We will talk about real quickly some Okay, so I didn't listen to you the first time, but maybe you'll listen to us the second or third time. We have a couple second printings hit this week. One is from Oni Press. Murder Drones #1 is getting its second print, and boy howdy, did we just not buy enough of that.
This is a book that the fandom online for the product came and found it on our website and had us wiped out before Wednesday started. So where we thought, oh yeah, that's fine, we'll have plenty of it and all this. Incorrect, totally off. Was gone so quickly. So if you were looking for this, they have rushed back for a second print. You do have the #2 available right away. I believe the Spirit of the Shadows third print here. I believe we still have some of that in stock. Second print, I believe. So like this is one where they're just keeping it going for other people who may have missed the bus a little bit. But if you are looking for all those, this is a new coloring of the main cover from #1. Alongside the #3s.
Along the same lines in Mad Cave Studio, we have Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. Its second print for #1 is also releasing. Another one that this one kind of ramped up naturally though. Like we knew it was going to be big, but people had to kind of get on board with it, and that's exactly what happened. I think by mid-Thursday, it was the hottest thing. People really needed to find it and pick it up. We were out before Friday, but your chance to read this crazy kooky story is going to be right here at a very significantly lower price at $4.99.
I'm also going to put out that even though they haven't come out with a #1 reprint on this, I would expect them to come back with it. But is Ted OK blew up for the #1 issue? I would think that #1 second prints are coming, but I am going to highlight here and say, hey, put a big highlighter on this one for #2 because it was gone quickly. It was something that other people were chasing. If you're interested, be sure you're in for #2 now and not playing catch up later.
Excellent call out. Another one that's returning, but not as a second printing. This is a facsimile for my Invincible fans under Image Comics. Invincible Returns is coming back with some new covers and some really cool reprint storylines. The reason it's coming back is that it has the first appearance of Thrag in it. This is kind of the re-establishment of the new version of the world for Invincible, and it kind of begins right before the big Vitramite War. This will be also featured in the animated show releasing this month. You'll want to catch this book and get ahead of the game. It will probably launch the originals even higher. So if you'd like to pick up the book to read it, this is a great way to do so and have your little stack of returns before it gets real crazy in about a month.
So this originally came out around the issue 75 timeline, and it was a one-shot that was a jump-on point type of thing. So it is designed that if you haven't read or you've been just enjoying the show, you absolutely can do this. I'm very glad that they reprinted all available covers. The first cover is Corey Walker, the original, into Invincible. Then there's the Otley, who is doing it currently at that time. And then the Darwin Cook reprint here is also just great to have. All these
Darwin Cook.
Yeah, very chaste, with what was going on. So it's good that we have availability for them.
I didn't know if I should bring it up because we're in Image. We'll just talk about it. Dork to #2 second printing is also dropping.
Yeah, I would absolutely have brought it up. Yep.
This is one of the hottest books, if not the hottest book that's coming out right now. They're fighting at the top with White Sky as well. But Dork #2 hits. This is the second printing for Dork #2, which Dork 2 hasn't released yet. If you want to get further ahead of the game, I think you purchase this, especially if you're one of the lucky few that got that first print and that second print of #1, then there's no reason not to just pick up the #2 second print and keep your collection at 100% while you still can.
They are doing a really good job with these additional printings of using new art as opposed to just a recoloring. I don't think recolorings are bad, but I do think it's an extra bonus when we get new art.
I agree. Were you able to fix that crossover event? I didn't want to jump over there if we didn't have it.
I have it fixed. Let's look.
For DC Comics, where we'll probably end our conversation, there are a couple things I wanted to talk about. The first is a new crossover event featuring Superman and Supergirl and Superman Unlimited. For you, those of you on any of those, you will already be tied to that in your portal system. But Superman Reign of the Superboys is going to kick off right after DCKO ends, which I believe is this week. So I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. You can follow along and pick those up weekly right here on this show. You can make sure you don't miss a beat on the new Reign of the Superboys, which is kind of like an homage back to Reign of the Supermen from when Doomsday took out Superman for a minute. The covers on this thing are fantastic. There is a really neat cover with the basically reading comics cover, which has kind of been popular over at Marvel. They're taking it over on DC now, but they feature two different comic covers in the metaverse of Superboy Prime. So he's reading his own comic book that you yourself have, or he's reading Absolute Superman. If you want both, pick up both. I don't know if there's a right answer, but they all look great.
This, I think, is even better. It's fun that they do these kind of covers, but it fits way better with Superboy Prime, right?
It really does, yes.
The mythos of where Superboy Prime is actually from and all this just makes total sense for him to be involved with this. So I think that this is beyond just, capitalizing on a popular trend. I think it's very, very well planned out.
Which I do give DC a gold star for, trying to give some weight behind the trope.
Yep.
From there,
we
are going to do it. It's now time to break into DC Marvel's Superman Spider-Man #1. We are here. Now, this is almost the opposite of everything we talked about before, where we're like, hey, this is kind of independent and you should kind of check this out, and this might be not on the rack. This is not a problem of like, is it going to be on our rack? It will be on our rack. It will be plenty on our rack. However, the thing about this is the selection on it is so big that we really need you to jump up in front of the line and pick out the ones you really want, so you're not beholden to the time when we say, you know what, we'll only bring 5 of those in and 10 of these ones, right? We want to make sure you get every single cover you want, and the only way to do that is by picking it up right here. And I know from the last crossover event that there are people out there that want every single cover. And those peeps don't seem to watch us on this video. So when we announce it on Tuesday for the half-hour hype, what's going to happen is I'm going to get 2 or 3 people come in and they're just going to go, I want it all. And they'll buy all up, So I don't want you to miss out on these just the insane level of cover art. And I really, really wish I could tell you guys, like, oh, here's the bad one. Don't worry about that. I wouldn't say that out loud anyway, but like, I can't. I literally can't. If anything, I might say the blank one's a cop-out at this point, because typically you get a blank to go to a con to get a great artist to do something for you, but all the great artists have already done a cover, so pick it out here. It is a embarrassment of riches on this when it comes to which variant's which. It is an absolute runway. We could have spent the entire half hour just attempting to try to show you each cover on this one, but we're talking Campbell, Spider-Man, Jim Lee, Gabriel Dell'Otto, Joshua Middleton, Jorge Jimenez, Mitch Gerards, Oliver Coipel. It is bonkers. So Keith, I ask you, what are your top 3?
So I think you really get 2 roads to go down here when you're picking your tops, right? You're either going to go with your, favorite artists. Like, again,
sure.
Coipel stands out as, of all the options here, really stands out as a favorite artist. So I think I probably do lean to the Coipel just because I've always liked his style. I like how it presents. It's one of the few artists I personally follow on Instagram. I like pieces like that. But then even outside of what your artist is, sometimes you get a theme or you get characters on this.
Yes.
You're going to have this younger one here with Jeff Spokes to turn around and have Superboy and Spider Punk, right? I am always going to be a fan of Gabriel Dell'Otto, but I'm also a fan of what he used as the medium here of the back in blacks.
Yes.
So to grab both Superman and Spider-Man in black suits kind of idea, I think this one stands up in one of my tops also because not only hitting great artists, but also turning around and hitting great theme. Like I can absolutely for Docs here, you can turn around and make the argument about the different the vehicles, right?
Vehicles, yeah.
Like that's fun theme. That's really well done.
Totally agree.
I'm really torn on my last one.
All right. I don't want to sway you.
Dave Johnson using Red Sun Superman is always going to be one of my favorites.
Excellent.
Spider Hulk's fine, but Red Sun is on there. But I actually kind of want to I kind of want to fall under the radar.
Okay.
Pulaski's version here with Power Girl and Black Cat is just outstanding. It kind of captivates me about the background that he uses that turns around and gives it a little bit of something more to the piece, but yet doesn't distract from the characters at all. So
I agree with you.
And I got an honorable mention for Chrissy Zullo.
Of course.
Chrissy Zullo.
I gotta say that it's hilarious that the David Pulaski is like an underdog, because that cover in any other scenario would have been, that's the number one, grab that. But in here, it is kind of under the radar. It's kind of hidden under the umbrella of all the insane talent. For me, I'm kind of along the same way with you. One of my favorite artists of all times is Joshua Middleton. I can't believe I get to see two iconic characters, and he's usually doing soft covers, but he's very good at capturing moments, and I really think he did an excellent job there. The one I think that everybody's going to want to get, and it's kind of controversial because of it, is Jim Lee's variant. When they announced it, his hand, Spider-Man's hand's a little wonky, and that blew up the internet for probably 2 weeks straight. So much so that Jim Lee came out and said, I fixed it, and then he messed up Superman's hands. They did put it out with his hand kind of like a little off, and I think that's brilliant. So if you want a piece of a little like history there, I think it's good. And then the other one that I want people to kind of think ahead on is the David Nakayama. If you look over at Marvel, he's been doing all of these color variants, and he's got red and white and blue. And I think that this, though it's not part of that series, I think it fits within that series. So I think it's a really cool collectible piece that you can put with that series and kind of one up your friend that's also collecting the DNA covers.
Yeah, he didn't go full negative space here, but he has all the elements. It's all there involved with it and all this. So I think it does that well. And I think that the bigger conversation here is if your top three and my top three, and we're kind of picking and maybe we overlapped a little bit here. We didn't say Archer, and we didn't say Adam Hughes. We didn't say Jason Campbell, and it's not a knock. It's really not. It's almost like it's the challenge to dig to find what it is there. And it's just crazy insane. And I'm so annoyed that these two fall onto the second page here because we don't get to showcase them enough here. But even Steve Lieber doing
for
Jimmy Olsen, that's just so good.
Yeah. So. There's also the Rafa Sandoval, which is an homage to the original, which I think will have some weight behind it. So look at that. We are close to the end. I did want to end with a variant that I saw. Honorable mention.
It's this one, right?
I do have that one up, which is hilarious, but it is amazing. That cover is fantastic. My honorable mention was Judge Dredd magazine's coming out, and I wanted to make sure. I don't think I've seen it in a minute because I think Rebellion Publishing was having some issues. So
Rebellion was still in between some, so it's catching up now, and we're pretty solid with them now.
So make sure you don't miss out on that if you've been waiting for some Judge Dredd. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles under IDW, Mark Spears.
You want to bring this one up?
I do really want to bring this one up because
why try to break people's brains?
Mark Spears did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles variant, and it's amazing. I mean, brilliant. I want the poster. That's, you know how you watch people kind of like play with their favorite toy over there, and you're like, I kind of respect that. I wish I had something like that. I've been doing that a lot with Mark Spears, and I finally get to go, oh, he's in my sandbox now, and fantastic. He knocked it out of the park. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Really good stuff there. There's plenty of others that we didn't even get to touch in all this. Please take the time to browse through the website and look at all this. Orders are due by 6 p.m. tomorrow through the website. Please use the portal if you are a Hold Slot member. That makes it so much easier for us to turn around and process your things. And as a big deal about this, because we talk about popularity and what's spiking and all this, while we're here, while we're on final order cutoff, limits are not imposed. You can turn around and order what you want. And you don't have to worry about that. So I've already started receiving some people who have ordered a couple of this, a couple of that, so that they have, like one copy to share, one copy to keep, I don't care what you do. You can buy 5 at this point in time because we can plan for your orders now. So just as a reminder of what this is, definitely turn around and dig and find what you are looking for.
There you go. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, one and all.